Alright guys, welcome into another ESO build video. This specific build is going to be based around a ice class. It is subclassing, so we will be diving into specific subclassing skill lines that we did choose from. But the sole purpose of this build is to keep up a ice theme for you ice theme lovers out there. I'm gonna say I promise you this build should fulfill your needs, so let's jump right into it. First thing is class. We are a Breton. Sustain is very important on this build. You will figure out on why you'll need to either reconfigure some things regarding your sustain or potentially not, but I found that Breton was the better choice for me as far as sustain wise. So we got 36 in mag, 28 in health, max mags 22k, max health. You can see pretty much all these stats here. I'll just scroll down a little bit so you can kind of see. Feel free to pause the video to look at stats. The Mundus is H or knock. Vamp stage 3. To be honest with you, I haven't tried this build without Vamp stage 3. I'm considering on doing it just to see if there's really any difference. You can pretty much choose if you want to keep it or not. Our food of choice is smoked bear haunch. We'll buff up if you guys really want to see what the stats look like buffed up. 29k, 26k. So let's go jump into gear. So what we're utilizing is noon attack. So we're doing a heavy piece of noon attack and we are doing a medium piece of noon attack. You can pretty much look up what this gear set does either here, or you can pretty much look it up on one of the the ESO websites. One piece trainee. First set we're using for our front bar, we are using Shattered Fate. And we are using 5 pieces of it just to get our offensive pin. So we have a light in-pin waist, we have a medium in-pin bracers, we have a medium in-pin guards, medium in-pin boots, all prismatic glyphs on all of your armor pieces. Jumping to jewelry, back bar, we are using Wretch Fatality. We are using this set obviously because we want more sustain. Sustain on this build, once again, when you line up your burst, depending upon how much you spam your tentacle, you possibly could run out of little sustain, but by that time I believe you should have already bursted down the target. So basically we're using infused on all 3 pieces of jewelry, using all multi-effect enchants for weapon and spell damage. If you feel that sustain is giving you some problem, feel free to add a mag sustain if you want. We are using Shattered Fate swords, dual wield, Nernhone, and charge because we want the chill status effect, and Nernhone because we want to get extra weapon damage. We're already using Shattered Fate, so we're already getting offensive pin, so we don't need to overindulge with dual wield maces. You can try dual wield maces and probably do Nernhone dual wield Nernhone mace here and then a charge mace here. Completely up to you. And we are using a Wretch Fatality defending ice staff with a weapon damage enchantment. Going into skills, so front bar, I am using Tentacular Dread. Like I said, I wanted to focus more around a ice theme build, but I wanted something that could pretty much pack a punch, do damage, and have good sustain, good defense, good offense. And I feel like this has been working out pretty well for me. Second skill is Chilling Soul. We're doing frost damage. We're doing also the lingering damage as well for frost. And then because we are not using Animal companions, we need a major breach. We're also not using elementals. I believe we're not using Ellie Ward. So we're getting our major breach from Chilling Soul, which is the third piece of our scribing ability. We are using Arctic Blast. Now, Arctic Blast, I'm using it more for, once again, Ice Team effect. It does apply a stun, does do some frost damage, so we're using that as well. We are doing Binding Contingency, which along with our Warden class skill line, our class script. So Mobilize, Warden class script, and Major Savagery, just so we can get extra weapon and spell crit. You might want to go Force. I don't currently have Force unlocked for this specific tune. So that is the reason why I'm using Major Savagery, but once I have Force unlocked, I probably will be swapping it. Front bar, we are putting this front bar because we are getting extra pin. Obviously with Herald of Tome passives, the more skill lines you have, the more pin you get. Slotted, the more pin you get. And our ulti of choice, obviously Northern Storm. For those of you who are familiar with it, you know what it does. And this is the reason why we're having a front bar. Back bar, we are using Channeled Focus, Extended Ritual, Honor the Dead, Ice Fortress. We do have 2 sources of Major Resolve, but I'm not using this for the Major Resolve. I'm using this for the Minor Protection. More than likely, I know I'm getting Minor Protection for Temporal Guard, so you can choose to swap this out or swap this out. Really depends on you. And then we're using Shimmering Shield. Reason why I'm saying if you want to swap this out, sometimes I have trouble where I'm trying to go front bar and go on the offensive, and somehow my bar does not swap, and I end up hitting this Temporal Guard. If you want, you can slot the Destro ultimate, to be honest with you. You can put this back bar, put Eye of the Storm. To be honest with you, I'll probably try that too. But yeah, so class lines we're using: Winter's Embrace, Restoring Light, and Herald of Tome. We'll jump in the CP. Pretty quick and easy. Fighting Aura, Ironclad, Fighting Finesse, Master of Arms, Pain's Refuge, Sustained by Suffering, Boundless Fatality, Survival Instincts. I've always said this in every build video that I make: you choose the champion points that best fits your playstyle. These are what I'm using right now. As of now, it's subjective to change and could possibly change later on. Okay, that being said, guys, I hope you enjoy the build. If you happen to have any kind of changes that you would make to the build, feel free to drop a comment in the section below, and we'll be back with hopefully another build video. If not, you'll probably see some clips shortly after this video demonstrating how the build works. Alright guys, peace. Fight.